Hey there everybody, welcome back to Castle Rebirth. How'd you like that new intro there? I finally decided to give the Cam Studio mod a try and I am pleased with it. Although I did have to go into creative mode in order to set the waypoints for the camera to follow, but that doesn't really matter too much. I'm going to creative to set up a shot, not that bad. So, I've been busy, as you probably could tell from the overhead shot and what you can see behind me. In fact, it's been a really, really long time since I last recorded. I'm talking about like 2 weeks maybe? Yeah, it's been quite a while, and the reason it's been so long is because, well, I was doing a lot of terraforming, and I mean a lot of terraforming. I'll show you in just a second. Alright, so, let's see, how busy was I with the terraforming stuff? Well, insanely busy. And you'll see why in just a moment. One thing you might have already noticed is that the wall is a little bit straighter over here. I decided to bring it in a couple blocks in order to give a straighter side to it. And that will become evident in a little while. No, it'll be made clear why, I mean, not become evident. But take a look at this. Where there once was a large cliff face and a steep hill, kind of like what's across the river over there, there is now a much flatter area with a nice gentle slope up to the wall, or what will become a wall. And if we continue over here, what once was a giant wide river is now mostly grassland. There's still plenty of river to it, but not so much that it'll make building over there difficult. And over here, where there once was just a sheer cliff wall, there is now a small hill, which my mine is inside, and a wall going across the top of it. Now, the wall is not a complete wall, of course. There's still plenty of work to be done. Lots and lots of block placing to do. Let me out. But still, it is a significant improvement. And I'm thinking that I can have like a small farmhouse up here and possibly turn most of this area into a collection of fields. Oh boy, frame drops. Where's my frames at? Give me a second. I need to figure out what's going on. Okay, it's sitting around 30. I guess that's fine. It normally sits around 50 for Feed the Beast, which has a lot more stuff going on, and this world doesn't have anything going on. In fact, when I'm not recording, it's sitting at 45 frames a second, which is quite abnormal. I don't know what's going on right now. It's got me a little bit worried. And there goes my frames again, down to 10 frames a second. 9, 5, 7, 3. Oh boy. I think there might be a process going on my computer right now, and I'm having trouble figuring out what it is. But it's getting irritating. In fact, if it keeps doing this, recording is going to be a bit of a pain. Anyway. Oh, right, I forgot. I need to switch back to normal mode. I was on my test world where I was setting up a cart system a while ago, and just been trying to figure out what I can do with golems now, and it's It's just better to have it on peaceful so that there's not a whole bunch of slime hopping all over the place. But sometimes I forget to switch back from peaceful to normal. Anyway, enough talking about other worlds, let's talk about this world. In this world, I've actually started creating a more industrial district. This so far has the Gilded Hammer, which is my blacksmith, and a barracks, which has a small collection of beds, a few chests with nothing in them, but hey, good things come eventually. There might be something in there at some point, probably emergency items. The Gilded Hammer, I tried to make a interesting looking blacksmith. I originally was going to have a have a chimney with a bit of netherrack stuck inside to light on fire. I decided that it needed more functionality and just made a whole bunch of furnaces instead. There's an anvil for when I need to repair tools or combine enchantments. Some chests which can house items, and a workbench for creating the basic items and crafting tools and weapons and armor. And that's all I've really gotten done so far. The tower might be something that you haven't seen yet. Actually, you probably haven't, because I don't think I had much of this wall worked on last time. There is a gratuitous use of stairs and cobble fences, because I kind of like the way that they look when you're making cobble buildings. It might change because I do eventually want to upgrade all this into stone brick. It's just that I felt like making the walls first. Plus, eventually I will be able to get my own replacing tools. You know, like the Wand of Equal Exchange or whatever it was, the Equal Trade Wand. That's what it was. And I can just right click and boom, all the cobblestone turned to stone brick. Very simple solution. One that we will exercise in the future. Let's head into the tower actually and take a look. The design is pretty simple, just stairs in one corner going upwards. Windows which you can actually stand in and look out of but not fall out of, which makes them pretty useful for shooting arrows down upon invaders, although this is kind of the only window you can actually shoot invaders outside the city in. The rest kind of point in the city, so they're more for defending the village after it's got invaders in it. And there goes the frame rates again. Yeah, the frame rate loss is sporadic, and as soon as I stop recording, everything jumps back up to 45 frames a second, and when I start recording again, it drops down to like 30. And I can tap the record button twice, and it'll go from 3 frames to 30 for no reason. So I'm getting to be irritated. Anyway, this is the lovely view from the tower. I decided to use the cobble fence up here as a way of keeping you from falling out. Although it does kind of make it more interesting when you're trying to shoot downwards, because you kind of lose sight of everything over there. But from here you have a pretty good view of anyone coming from that direction, except for the fact that there's a forest in the way, so you're going to have to be a sharpshooter in order to actually take anything out. Moving on. Actually, moving on, we are so we had a kind of minor crash. Nothing to worry about though. Nothing was lost, nothing bad happened. And to be honest, I crash a lot on this set of mods I have. Like about 3 times every time I play. And I wonder if maybe it's partially Millionaire's fault. Now, I'm not saying that Millionaire is a bad mod and deserves to be complained about. I'm just saying that there's a lot the Millionaire has to keep track of. I have 4 different villages that I have found. And while they're not in loaded chunks, things still happen with them. So perhaps they keep the chunks that they're in loaded. If that's the case, it could explain random FPS drops. I really don't know enough about Millionaire to actually say much about it. I mean, the most I know right now is that I can go trade with a villager. And now, gaze upon a land where once there were people, and now are no more. Where proud buildings once stood, and now nothing but furnaces and floating roofs and empty holes can be found. Yes, I have uninstalled Millionaire. Why did I do that? Well, as soon as I got near this village, I couldn't play the game anymore. I kept on crashing within minutes of loading the world and receiving a message about error ticking world entities and error entity ticking loop. And now that I've gotten rid of Millionaire, the problem seems to have stopped. In fact, my FPS has actually gone up a little bit as well, so I suppose that's a good thing. Now, one of the things that's happened recently with Millionaire is that the village I had gone to the most, the Byzantine one, they were starting to get into fights with that village right there. Their relations just kept on dropping and dropping and dropping, and the last thing I had heard was a red message saying that they were starting to clash and something about raids. And I think that the raids might not get along with the other mods that are installed. They might be trying to use an item that they're not supposed to be using, or I don't really know. So, Millionaire's gone now, because if it didn't go, I wouldn't be able to play this world. A little bit disappointing because I do enjoy Millionaire and the huge variety of different cultures and gameplay it brings to Minecraft, but it was a very minor thing for me to have in the mod, in the pack I'm using. I mean, it just was kind of more like a distraction, although it was a fairly good one. Well, not that big a loss, I guess, because I can always go with a different mod if I find one that I like. I would like to have Mine Colony, but that thing has never been updated since, like, geez, when was it last updated? think I last played it when Minecraft was still a beta. And ever since Minecraft became a full game, it just seems to have died completely. People post a lot in the forums there, but there's not been a single update to Mine Colony to make it anywhere remotely compatible with modern Minecraft. Alright, so why am I here at the Thaumic Circle? Well, I asked a while ago if I could create a wand if I killed a pigman and got a gold nugget from him. And, well, the response was yes. So, let's kill some pigmen. Hey, gold nugget right away. Success! Let's get out of here before more pigmen spawn. I can now create a wand, and we can actually start doing Thaumcraft stuff as well. Which is a wonderful thing. Of course, that means I have to do some research, but I will not subject you poor people to sitting there watching me throw things into a desk and researching them nonstop. That will be an entirely off-camera thing. And if you want to know how to research items, well, go take a look at my research guide videos. I have 3 of them. And the first one's not even monetized because, hey, YouTube doesn't function very well. Why is it not monetized? No idea. Random license claim from somebody who probably doesn't even have anything to do with Minecraft or the mods I'm using. Or rather, probably from people that don't even have anything to do with Thaumcraft itself. And possibly are just taking the music, which is Minecraft music, vanilla Minecraft music, just run through a remixer. So no one can actually do a license claim on that. Basically, I have no idea why anyone would do a copyright claim on a video that they have absolutely no copyright to. And that's why I say YouTube's broken. Speaking of YouTube being broken, how about Nintendo? Oops. My featherfall wore off a lot faster than I thought it would. Okay. How about Nintendo? They have gone the way of Sega. What do I mean by that? I mean they have decided to take action against people who do Let's Plays and stuff of their videos. But not to worry, they are not going around shutting down channels. No, what they're doing instead is having it so that YouTube will automatically find their material on people's videos, and any monetization that comes from those videos, Nintendo gets. So people are doing the work for Nintendo of playing their game and getting their game more known if they are a popular channel, and if they're not a popular channel, then the channel probably isn't even going to get the random monetization theft that Nintendo is forcing upon its fans. And there's a lag spike. Where was I? Oh yes. Smaller channels probably won't even get any of this at all, but bigger channels that are popular for Let's Plays and stuff that have anything to do with a Nintendo thing in their video, or possibly don't have anything to do with a Nintendo thing in their video, the way YouTube works. They will not get any of their money for their work. Now, the way that Let's Plays are is kind of a multiple shades of gray area as to what is legal and what isn't when it comes to monetizing the work. But in general, I think that it's kind of a bad move on Nintendo's part. I mean, these people already bought Nintendo's game. These people probably paid full price for the game. These people that monetize these videos probably are monetizing the videos because they need some extra income or because it is the entirety of their livelihood. And for Nintendo to say, hey, good work on your product, good work on your video there, we will gladly take all the money that you've earned from it now, is kind of worse than what Sega has done. I mean, Sega shuts you down for some of their stuff, if not all of their stuff now, which is already bad. Nintendo is going and saying, hey, thank you for earning us money for free. You're not getting paid for what you've done. I don't want to use the term slavery because they're not forcing you into this. They're just taking your money. And piracy, that wouldn't really be a good term to use either because it's not really piracy. It's douchey, yes. Piracy, not really. I mean, it is Nintendo's work, but they were paid for their work. It's kind of like if... Let's see, what's a good comparison? Okay, here's a good comparison. You know how on TV channels have advertisements which people pay the channel to run their advertisements and the channel gets money off that? It would be like instead of the channel getting the money for the advertisements, the company got paid by the channel because the channel has the privilege of running their advertisements, so the channel gets to pay for advertising their products. Yeah, see that comparison? It kind of is the same thing. What the heck is up with this lag? Okay. Now, it might not be the most sensible argument. I mean, technically with YouTube, companies are paying to have their advertisements run on other people's channels, and YouTube is getting the money. The channel isn't really getting the money from the companies. They're getting paid by YouTube to run the advertisements, and YouTube is getting the advertisement money. It's hard to actually run the comparison in my head. I don't remember if I ever said anything about this, but I do not have a very good thought process. I kind of go screwy at times, and I get lost in my own head. I'm kind of lost right now. There we go. Stick, gold nugget, and a shard. There we go. We got our wand. Wonderful. So, yeah, Nintendo's being really douchey, and in light of their recent misfortunes of having their latest console sell way less than what they wanted, I think they're making a really, really big mistake. I mean, they have a console that's not selling very well, and the next step is to go and take the money from people who are earning money by playing Nintendo's games on YouTube, and people get viewing the ads. Nintendo's not getting paid for those ads. The companies didn't go to Nintendo and say, hey, we want you to sponsor our products. They went to YouTube to get their products sponsored. But I don't even know where I'm going with this thought process anymore. But what I do know is that with Nintendo are doing very bad business-wise with the Wii U and not getting anything good going for it so far. Making it so that people don't like Nintendo is not a very smart option. And that is exactly what they've done. They've made it so that people don't want to play Nintendo games. They don't want to go to their they don't want to have their channel taken over by a corporation that doesn't care about them, apparently. And yeah, Nintendo's falling on hard times. Yeah, they could use some more money, but do they need to destroy people's lives in order to get that money? I don't think that's a good idea. And what's going to happen is a lot of people are just going to not play Nintendo games anymore on YouTube because Nintendo's just going to steal their money from them, so it's not going to be worth their time to play the game. Like, literally, it's not going to be worth their time. They're going to put a bunch of time and effort into something, and Nintendo's going to take any profit that they would make from doing that. Or they can put a bunch of time and effort into something and actually get paid for their time and effort. And Nintendo sure as hell is not going to pay them for their time and effort. That much is clear. Ultimately, this could result in Nintendo being boycotted by a lot of bigger YouTube channels and possibly even smaller YouTube channels just because they do not want to have Nintendo going in and taking over their channel. Enough of my rant. And I'm very sorry if that rant was kind of boring to you, but it is an important issue for any Let's Player. And I am a Let's Player, but I do it mostly as a hobby, so the whole Nintendo thing isn't as much of an impact to me as it is to other channels. But I understand why people would be upset. And they have every right to be. There we go. Thaumonomicon. Good to have you back. And what research did I have last? Okay, so I actually did have most of the basics done. I mean, yeah, I got a few more to go, but that won't take much time. Suppose I could start making niter instead of torches and put that on the walls instead. That'd be different. Got some things to do. Alright, I think I'll end this episode here. I know that there wasn't as much done again this time, but I think next time we'll go to the Nether. How am I going to go to the Nether when I can't use diamonds to get obsidian? Come on, I'm smarter than that. It's easy to get to the Nether. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope that my little rant didn't bother you and possibly brought something to your attention that you didn't know was happening in the world. Don't forget that if you enjoyed this video, just crush that like button. Turn it into a pile of powder on your screen. Pretty please? I would like that. Anyway, take care guys. See you next time.